Well, we're a couple of weeks into what's known as one of the 100 deadliest days. It's a time period between Memorial Day and Labor Day, and that's when we see wrecks involving teenage drivers rise dramatically. Now, that's important to note because we have something that we want to talk to you about, an interchange between two major freeways that people talk about all the time. And we have CW39's Seth Kovar. He's going to be joining us live to talk about what we need to do and how we can get information out to you to protect these wonderful kids when they're on the road. So Seth, you're joining us live from the Castillo Community Center with important information. What's going on?
You mentioned the busy interchange, I-10, I-45 interchange right over there. Can you imagine being 16 years old and getting behind the wheel of a car and having to manage these Houston highways and the crazy traffic? That's just one of the things they have to deal with, but there's also distractions in the car. And then there are those distractions from their peers. Maybe they want to get in a race, maybe they want to do donuts. It all can add up to dangerous conditions. Tess Rowland with the Harris County Sheriff's Office Traffic Safety, where she is the liaison for that office. She joins us right now. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Okay, well, let's talk about specifically that street racing that we see, the people doing donuts. What kind of dangers does that kind of behavior pose? And then is it typically the younger people, I would assume?
Yeah, so it is typically the younger crowd, so that's why we're here today to spread awareness, because parents play a pivotal role in talking to their teens, and we also take a lot of tips from the community when it relates to these races. So we have a dedicated traffic crimes unit, and we also work a lot with HPD to intervene and, of course, prevent these races before tragedy strikes and an unfortunate fatality were to occur in these situations. So these officers are out and about working diligently. Last year, they were able to arrest 105 individuals for racing on the highway, 126 of these individuals for reckless driving. These are arrestable misdemeanor offenses as well. And this unit, due to a legislative change in 2023, is now able to seize the cars that are actually involved in these races, which is a great help to ensure that these individuals do not repeat offend and these races hopefully do not occur again. And also another pivotal role that this unit plays within traffic safety in Harris County is, unfortunately, a lot of times at these events we see a lot of guns or narcotics, and by breaking up these events and preventing them, they're also able to seize these items to ensure that other types of fatalities do not occur within our community. Last year, they were able to seize 41 guns off the streets.
Okay, so it's kind of a double whammy. You get those dangerous drivers off the street and the weapons and the drugs. So it's a very good thing traffic safety enforcement is doing out there. It sounds like.
Yes, it plays a pivotal role in our community. And unfortunately, last year, we lost 23 teens ages 16 to 19 in car crashes. 85 of these teens were seriously injured. And what we want people to understand is that the statistics, they speak volumes, but we want people to understand that behind these statistics, these are real people with real lives and crashes that could have been prevented. So we want parents to understand that we are going to be out enforcing traffic laws, working to prevent these fatalities, but also they need to be talking to their teens as well. We recommend that they establish a parent-teen agreement to really outline the consequences, that driving is a privilege, not a right. You're not invincible behind the wheel, which is a lot of times what we see with these teens. And also to take heed of the state's graduated driving license laws. So in Texas, this is 30 hours before you get your license that they recommend. And of course, 10 of these hours being at night. We recommend that you work with your teen to help them prevail through these situations, which can be treacherous on Houston roads.
Okay, Tess, thank you very much. We'll be right back here on CW39 Houston. No wait weather and traffic with more helpful information a little later in the newscast.